Here's a story from the Post-Millennial. DOJ announces multiple indictments against whistleblower who alleged Biden received payments from CCP affiliated individuals. I love this story because it's kind of obvious. It's just so on the nose. Like, hey, I'm a guy who says that there's corruption happening with Joe Biden. And then Joe Biden's like, you're under arrest. It's just really that simple. Huh? The DOJ has announced multiple indictments against Dr. Gal Luft, the Israeli-American co-head of a Maryland think tank who gained notoriety as the missing witness in the investigation into Joe Biden's corruption. The New York Post recently shared a video of Luft wherein he broke down the allegations made against Biden and claimed that he'd been arrested to prevent him from testifying to the House Oversight Committee with damning evidence against the First Family. Now, long after coming out as a whistleblower, Luft himself has been charged by the Biden DOJ for allegedly engaging in multiple serious schemes involving the Chinese and Iranians alongside a former high-ranking U.S. government official. The charges include numerous offenses related to failing to register under the Foreign Agents Registration Act, arms trafficking, Iranian sanctions violations, and making false statements to federal agents. Wouldn't Hunter Biden have to do the same thing with Farah as well? But I don't know if there's more to this story or what's going on. I don't know if you have a bigger view of this, Natalie.
Sure. Well, there is nothing more hypocritical than coming after him for not registering with the Foreign Agent Registration Act. As someone who has read Farah too many times, I joke I'm probably the only American who frequents that website. Hunter Biden's name is never on there, even though it should be, not just for China, but also for Ukraine, also for Iraq, also for Russia, you name it, the list goes on. But it's important to remember that this is just one of several whistleblowers. If you remember James Comer, who's leading these investigations for the House, he said that there were about 10 whistleblowers. 7 of them, they don't know what happened to them. They just couldn't find them. Ooh. 2 of them had been indicted, and the other, if you remember, he was giving an interview, I think it was on Fox, and he's like, we think they may be dead. So keep in mind that even though this story is absolutely ridiculous, it's all the ridiculous more 10 times over because there are so many people like him.
Have you guys seen that crazy video where the woman on the plane is like screaming about how the dude's not real or something? I don't know what that was all about. I read something where she said, like, apparently people were like, she claims the guy winked sideways or something like that. I have no idea. But I was watching that, and after just seeing all of these different conspiracy theories, at this point, I'm like ready to believe her that like a lizard person was on the plane. I'm kidding, by the way. But what I mean, I bring it up because you hear the story and it's like, well, some of the whistleblowers may be dead. We don't know where these ones are. This guy's being criminally charged after calling out the Bidens and, you know, accusing them of corruption. And I'm just like, yeah, it's probably true. Like the Bidens are doing this and they're panicking and frantically trying to cover things up. Because what's the simple solution here? That all of these whistleblowers, witnesses, every story, every video, every claim, every text message, it's all part of some Russian plot to discredit the Bidens? Sorry, probably not the case.
It's so bold and it's so in your face. And I think it sort of proves in some ways the guilt of the Biden family. What I mean by that is that the same family that is so willing to issue indictments against people who are obviously calling the whistle, calling them out for their actions with hard, cold facts, real evidence. Of course, they would be bold and brash enough to take money from the Chinese Communist Party while Joe Biden is in office and think they could get away with it. I think it just shows you the mindset of this family and, frankly, how offensive it is to the American people that they think that they can get away with doing it and that people like us are dumb enough to just, oh, he's crazy.
To be fair, though, like, imagine what it must be like to be in the Biden family and you're getting all this negative attention and they're going like, the Clintons did it.
Yeah.
Why are you mad at us? Like, you know,
we're just following an American tradition.
Right.
Yeah. How can you take away our culture from us? This is our right as your elite. I don't understand.
Yeah, the Clinton Global Initiative and the Clinton Foundation, all that good stuff. Yeah. I think that the Bidens were looking at that level of influence peddling and Joe being fairly incompetent. I mean, to be fair, like fairly competent. He's made it pretty far. He was a senator for a long time. He was in politics for 50 years. So he's not completely bad at what he does. But he's not on the Clinton level. You know, Hillary Clinton, she's a special kind of witch. You know what I mean? Like she was able to pull it off. Congratulations to her and all of the awful things she did. But she got away with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, remember, she chucked her hard drives into the Potomac. Hunter Biden brought it to a repair shop in Delaware. And I think that sort of was the fuse that lit a lot of this off because the American, I think that's maybe too where some of the frustration comes from with the lack of accountability and investigations and really indictments, at least from House Republicans, going after people who are involved in the whole Hunter Biden crime ring, is because the American people are sort of getting this like sense of deja vu, because through this hard drive, through investigative journalism and actual media reports, they've known about all of this. Like Gal Luft is a name who's been around for a really long time. He's on the hard drive. These are stories that are sort of just resurfacing. And I think that's why it's all the more curious why they're indicting them now, because Gal Luft, all these types were saying these things and have been for a very long time, right? The hard drive has been out there for a while. We've written stories. War Room has talked a lot about people like Gal Luft, all the other whistleblowers, the names that are on the hard drive. So I think it's curious. It's like, why now? I think that same logic applies to why are they going after Hunter Biden on taxes now? Like, what's the timing?
Well, I got to ask for clarification. You said she threw her hard drives into the Potomac. Considering how crazy the story's been, was that literal, or you just mean figuratively?
I guess a metaphorical there, but my point is,
because she had them smashed with the phone smashed with hammers.
I guess it's too euphemistic to say they threw it at the. I'm sure. They're
going to come up like fact check.
I'm sure that at least one technological device that belongs to the Clinton family has been thrown in some capacity into the Potomac. I will go on the record with that.